Historical background. Early settlers.
These early settlers were known as the Austronesians and were skilled seafarers and farmers. The Austronesians established settlements along the coast on the islands where they cultivated crops such as rice, coconut, and bananas. They also engaged in trade with neighboring communities, exchanging goods such as gold, pottery, and textiles. Austronesians settled in the Philippines. They established a complex system of governance and social organization and develop a rich, diverse culture that combined elements from their Southeast Asian roots with the influence of the indigenous people they encountered in the Philippines.
Before coming the Spaniards, the island of Negros was called Buglas. It was settled by short, dark-skinned people with kinky hair. The Spaniard called them Negritos and the island was tagged as Negros. The Spanish authorities then divided the island into different comunidades. One of them was Rais de Tanay, which later on became Tanhay. Due to the rising number of inhabitants brought about the expanded production of sugarcane, the whole island of Negros became more difficult to govern. Consequently, a royal decree was issued on October 25, 1889, establishing Negros Oriental as a separate province with the island of Siquijor as part of its territory on January 1, 1890. The island was formally divided into Oriental and Occidental province. Dumaguete City is a coastal city in the province of Negros Oriental, Philippines. It was founded in 1572 by Spanish conquistador Miguel Lopez de Legazpi and was originally named Ciudad de Dumaguete, which means to snatch in the Visayan dialect. It was named as such because the Spanish colonizer took over the town from its original inhabitants, the Dumagueteños. During the Spanish colonial period, Dumaguete City became a center of commerce and trade primarily due its strategic location as a port town. It also became a center for education with the establishment of the Colegio de San Jose, or now the Silliman University, in 1901, which was the first Protestant university in the country. During the American colonial period, Dumaguete City continued to strive as center of commerce and education. Many American teachers were assigned to the city's schools, which further improved the quality of education in the area. In 1941, the city became the provincial capital when Negros Oriental was separated from Negros Occidental. During World War II, the city was heavily bombed by the Japanese occupation forces, causing significant damage to the city's infrastructure. After the war, the city was rebuilt and continued to prosper as the commercial and educational center. Today, Dumaguete City is known as the City of Gentle People for the friendly and hospitable nature for its residents. It is home to notable universities like Silliman University and Foundation University, as well as many popular tourist destinations including the Dumaguete Boulevard, Dumaguete Belfry, and the Rizal Boulevard.
Neighboring towns.
So, the historical background of neighboring towns of Negros Oriental is Dumaguete City. The capital of Negros Oriental has a significant historical background. It was originally known as Dinanggit and was a small settlement of fishermen and farmers. In the 19th century, it became a trending port of was eventually named Dumaguete. The city played a crucial role in a sugar industry during the Spanish colonial period. It also served as a center of education. With the establishment of Silliman University in 1901, which is now one of the country's top universities. So these neighboring towns in Negros Oriental have contributed to the province's historical, cultural, and economic development. From being center of trade and education to playing role in the sugar industry and showcasing natural beauty, each town has its significant in the province history. So the historical background of the Buglasan Festival. Buglasan Festival renames an important event in Negros Oriental, serving as a platform for cultural preservation, economic development, and tourism promotion. It celebrates the province history, traditions, and the vibrant spirit of its people. And also, the Buglasan Festival has grown in popularity and has become of the most anticipated event in a religion. It serves as a platform for cultural exchange, fostering unity and pride among the people of Negros Oriental. The festival continues to play a vital role in promoting tourism, local business, and preserving the cultural tradition of the province.
Early forms of literature from the province.
The early form of literature from the province of Negros Oriental reflect the rich cultural heritage of the region and have helped shape the identity of the people who call it home. Religious literature. Religious literature including hymns and religious texts is also an important aspect of Negros Oriental literary history. Many of these works reflect the strong religious beliefs of the people in the region and have played a significant role in shaping the culture and tradition of the area. Religious belief and tradition are a main theme or concept in religious literature in the West. The term religious literature refers to books based on Christian principles.
Contribution of universities to the literature of the province.
University can make significant contribution to the literature of the province like education. University offer courses and programs in the various subjects, including literature and creative writing. Through these courses, students can develop their writing and skill and produce literary work that reflect the culture and history of the province. This work can be published and contribute to the literature of the province.
Foundation University.
Foundation University is a private educational institution located in Dumaguete City, Negros Oriental. It was founded in 1949 and it was one of the oldest universities in Negros Oriental. The university offers a wide range of undergraduate and graduate programs in various fields of study, including business, education, engineering, arts and sciences, computer studies, and more. Foundation University is known for its quality education and has a strong reputation in the region. It has modern facilities, experienced faculty members, and a supportive learning environment. The university also promotes research and community engagement through various programs and initiatives.
St. Paul University.
St. Paul University, also referred to by its acronym SPUD or SPU Dumaguete, is a private Roman Catholic research non-profit co-educational basic and higher education institution run by the Sisters of St. Paul of Chartres in Dumaguete. It was founded by the Paulinian Sisters on October 29, 1904. SPUD has a well-established campus with modern facilities including libraries, computer centers, and sports facilities. The university also promotes extracurricular activities and student organizations to provide a holistic learning experience for its students. The university is known for its commitment to academic excellence, values education, and community service.
Silliman University.
Silliman University is a private university located in Dumaguete City, Negros Oriental. It was established in 1901 and is one of the oldest universities in the country. Silliman University is known for its academic excellence and its strong commitment to community service and social justice. Silliman University has a beautiful campus with modern facilities including libraries, laboratories, sports facilities, and student centers. Silliman University has been hosting the Silliman University National Writers Workshop, which is the oldest creative writing workshop in Asia. The workshop has played a significant role in nurturing and developing the talents of many Filipino writers, including those from Negros Oriental.
The National Writers Workshop in Dumaguete is the oldest creative writing program in Asia. The workshop has been directed for the past 50 years by national artist for literature, Dr. Edith L. Tiempo, along with her husband and workshop founder, Dr. Edelberto K. Tiempo. In 2009, Dr. Edith Tiempo was named Director Emeritus of the National Writers Workshop, now known as the Silliman University National Writers Workshop. The Silliman University National Writers Work is the only 3 weeks long writers workshop in the country, devoted to helping writers hone their craft in the genres of poetry, fiction, non-fiction, and drama. As the longest running among the nation's writing workshops, the Silliman Workshop has trained several generations of writers, many whom are now influencing the shape, direction, and development of Philippine literature. Over 600 young writers have received the workshop fellowships, which are open for annual competitions. Many of these writers have won major prizes in Don Carlos Palanca Literary Award, the Philippine Graphic Literary Contest, and the Philippine Free Press Literary Contest, among others. With the workshop's integrity and tradition over the years, it has become a rite of passage for the country's finest writers. Apart from Silliman University, over the years, the workshop has received support from the Ford Foundation, the National Commission of Culture and the Arts, or NCCA, the CAP family of companies, the Creative Writing Foundation, the Dumaguete Literary Arts, or DULA Group, and various cultural institutes based in the United States and Europe. Last 2010, mark a milestone in the development of Philippine literature and the writing craft as the Suleiman University National Writers Workshop, headed by the first director in residence Dr. Rowena Tiempo Torrevillas and the visionary Dr. Ben S. Malayang III. University president first invited a writer beyond the Philippines to sit in a guest panelist for a week to enrich the workshop by infusing Asian consciousness. The first international guest writer was in Hong Kong, Shaoxi, for 2011. It is a Singapore Carpal sign. Also, in 2010, Suleiman University welcomed the panelists, writing fellows, workshops alumni, and guests to the Writers Village at the Camp Lookout. In Valencia, it is realization made impossible through generous heart. So, what is the purpose of Suleiman University National Writers Workshop? Think it is creative writing as a program of study under Suleiman University's English department aims to provide students with a general knowledge of writing, especially literary writing.
Ian Rosales Casocot and Rowena Tiempo Torrevillas. Ian Rosales Casocot was born August 17, 1975. He was a Filipino journalist and writer of speculative fiction, literary fiction, poetry, drama, and creative nonfiction from Dumaguete, Philippines. He is known for his prize-winning short stories, old movies, The Hero of the Snore, Tango, Rosario and the Stories, A Strange Map of Time, The Suglanan of Epipania's Heartbreak, and Things You Don't Know. He minted a critical survey of Philippine literature website on Filipino writings and literary criticism. Casocot also does graphic design and taught literature, creative writing, and film at Suleiman University in Dumaguete, where he was the founding coordinator of Edilberto and Edith Tiempo Creative Writing Center, where he was the literary arts and cinema vice chairman of the Suleiman University Culture and Arts Council. He was a fellow for fiction at the Suleiman University National Writers Workshop in Dumaguete in 2000, the Iligan National Writers Workshop in 2002, and the University of the Philippines National Writers Workshop in Baguio in 2008. He would later become coordinator and then panelist of the Suleiman University National Writers Workshop, which was founded by Philippine writers Edilberto K. Tiempo and national artist Edith Tiempo in 1962. In 2010, he represented the Philippines for the fall residency of the International Writing Program of the University of Lua in Lua City. Rowena Tiempo Torrevillas was born June 13, 1951. She was a Filipina poet, fiction writer, and essayist. She was born to writers Edilberto Tiempo and Edith Tiempo in Dumaguete, Philippines. Torrevillas received a bachelor degree in 1971 and a master in 1978, both in creative writing. She also received a Doctor of Philosophy in English Literature, all from Suleiman University. She married multimedia artist Lemuel Torrevillas, and together they have a daughter, Lorraine Maria Torrevillas Simmons. Torrevillas worked for the International Writing Program as the Associated Program Coordinator. She worked for the University of Lua's English Department as an adjunct faculty member. Torrevillas has also been the director in residence of the Suleiman National Writers Workshop.
The poem entitled Bonsai by Edith Tiempo. All that I love, I fold over once, and once again I keep in a box, or a slit and hollow pose, or in my shoe. All that I love, why? Yes, but for the moment and for all time, both, something that folds and keeps easy, Son's Notes, or Dad's One Gaudy Tie. I wrote a picture of a queen, a blue Indian shawl, even a money bill. Its utter sublimation, a feat, this heart's control moment to women, to scale or love down to a cup hand size. Those seashells are broken pieces from God's own bright teeth, and life and love are real. Things you can run and breathless hand over to the merest child. So the common theme of this poem is all about nature, self-reflection, love, and peace. The poem entitled Cuernos de Negros by Ila Martinez Conscuela. The gentle rustle of mountain spirits unspool memory as the lamplight leaps into a sudden dance. Once a child, he had watched his father clearing grass. Grown child, he had sought and staked his kinship with sour stands and drove the plough with his seed bare hands. Up in the sky, he had scanned the slopes of his father's mountains, gently winding down. The river ran from bubbling spring and split and multiplied across the heaving. Fields so richly pied with fruits and ferns and flowers now carried by dry winds whipped by the sun's thieving eye. Midnight under the cold white moon and dim, trying stars, he returns and wonders, still at the curious call of dark birds, the plurk of frogs and a quiet band, cicadas crying about the trees, the switch of kites on the harvest time, and the boy that runs singing down the winding mountain slopes. At dawn, through the clearing fog, steel structures rise close to sky, dig deep down the mountain's horns, suck from its stones its majestic core of power. In time the spring will die, and all the will genuflect before the powerful spires. In time they will not remember, but perhaps when they grow old, they will see visions of Cuernos de Negros in their dreams. The first stanza sets the scene with a gentle and nostalgic atmosphere. And as we read, it mentions the presence of the mountain spirits and lamplights, evoking a scene of the connections of our nature and ancestral memories. It shows that the protagonist recalls a childhood memory of watching his father cleaning wet grass and the feeling a kinship with an act of sowing and working the land of their place. And in the second stanza, second stanza describes the protagonist of the protagonist's observation of the mountains. So it involves the mountains possessing the winding slopes and the river flowing down from a bubbling spring. The fields are portrayed as rich and abundant with fruits, ferns, and flowers. So, however, there's a hint of impending trouble as the sun's harsh rays and dry winds threaten the fertility and the beauty of their landscape. The third stanza depicts a scene of the introspections and contemplation during midnight. The protagonist reflects on the mysteries of nature, symbolized with a curious call of dark birds that plop of frogs, the cries of cicadas, and the sound of kites during harvest time. These elements evoke a sense of the connection of the cycles of life and the passage of time. And in stanza 4, the line of down the fog clears and the protagonist witnesses the rise of steel structures that intrude upon the landscape. The structures dig deep into the mountains, extracting their power and resources. These lines suggest a clash between human progress, symbolized by the powerful spires and the natural beauty and resources of the mountains and their land. And to the final stanza, which is the stanza 5, contemplates the consequences of the human intrusion on the mountains. And it implies that as time passes, people will forget the mountains and their significance of how the mountains really helped them to live in the past few years. But there is a glimmer of hope that in old age, visions of Juanes de Negros will return to them in their dreams, the dreams that really need to come, and they suggest the potential for connections with nature and a revival of the memories and the beauty that were lost. So overall, the poem explores the themes of nostalgia, human impact of nature, and the longing for a connection to one's roots.
Merle M. Alunan was born December 14, 1943 in Bengal, Iloilo. Alunan graduated from Silliman University with an MA in Creative Writing in 1974. She teaches at the Creative Writing Center, University of Philippines Visayas Tacloban College. She lives in Tacloban City. The Bell Counts in Our Blood by Merle Alunan is a poem that explores the themes of memory, identity, and cultural heritage. It uses the image of a bell to symbolize the collective memories and experiences that are shared by a community and passed down through generations. The poem begins by describing the sound of the bell, ringing out in the distance, and how it echoes through the landscape and into the blood of the people who hear it. This sets the stage for an exploration of how our cultural heritage and identity are deeply ingrained within us, and how they play a profound role in shaping who we are. Alunan uses a vivid and evocative imaginary to bring the poem to life, painting a picture of a rural setting with fields of rice paddies and the distant sounds of the bell ringing out. She also skillfully weaves in references to traditional Filipino costume and beliefs such as the idea of ancestral spirits and the importance of passing down stories and memories from one of generation to the next. Brave Woman by Grace Armonte de Ramos. Tone, Loving Mother. Author. She is the translator ang bukid nga nahigugma sa langgam the Visayan or Cebuano version of Alice McLaren's The Mountain. That Love a Bird. She is a poet whose works have been published in the literary journals Karakwa, Ani, Sands, and Coral, Likhaan, and Philippine Studies. Her poems have also appeared in textbooks and anthologies of Philippine literature, feminist poetry. In 2003, Brave Woman was chosen for inclusion in the book Poets Against the War, a collection of the best anti-war poems from among 13,000 submissions by writers opposed to war with Iraq. Grace earned her degree in creative writing at Silliman University, where she studied under the guidance of the country's most distinguished literary couple, Ediberto K. Tiempo and Edith L. Tiempo. She first taught literature at Silliman, then worked at the Cultural Center of the Philippines before deciding to be a hands-on mother. When she is not taking care of her children, their father, and the house cat, she writes, reads, edits other writers' manuscripts, and tries to solve a Sudoku puzzles. Bravery. To become a parent is one of the life's greatest joys. Setting: home or mother, barracks or sons, Butterfield, youngest son. Theme: she was born in 1956. She was a local fellow for poetry at the UP Creative Writing Center in 1987. She was a deputy director for literature at the CCP. Grace is preparing her long-awaited first volume of poems while mothering Onang and Bioy. She is most inspired feminist in the daily practice of equality, shared work and opportunities from Evasco and Santos Ed's Kung Ibig Mo in 1993. She is married to poet Juanino E. Arcilana, son of National Artist for Literature Franz Arcelana. Being a mother is never easy. It's a lifetime responsibility, yet giving birth, feeding and clothing the child doesn't end up the responsibility of being a mother. Although the destiny of a person cannot be controlled by anyone, mothers will always be there to support her children even in the hardest battle. Any mother can do anything just to sustain the needs of her children, but the mother in this poem cannot do anything. She doesn't have enough money to bring her children in school. That's why she was forced to take her two sons to be trained as soldiers. It takes her a lot of courage to face the reality that her youngest son is now gone because of the war. The reality that her sons were being born because they will be killed and will kill. Just like the mothers of other soldiers, they are left hanging and have no clue what are the appearance of those who have killed their sons. This mother is brave because she has to, and this kind of mother is worth to be saluted by everyone. Yet, all the mothers in the world that are continuous doing everything for their family deserves to be looked up by everybody else.